Do you want to learn a super fun and effective way to memorize new vocabulary in a foreign language? In this video, I'll show you how using pictures can boost your vocabulary like never before. If you're new here, bonjour les amis. My name's Matthew. I used to work for Fluent Forever, where I was mentored by the American polyglot and best-selling author Gabriel Weiner. Since branching out on my own, I've realized that I still love learning languages. So I've developed my own tools and techniques, and I'd love to share them with you to help you too. So I want to put forward that using pictures to memorize new vocabulary is not only an enjoyable way to do it, but it's also a highly effective one. Let me tell you why, starting off with the research behind it. There are researchers that argue that combining visual cues and verbal cues can significantly enhance your memory. What this essentially means is that when you use both language aspects as well as visual aspects and try and learn something new, then you'll learn it a lot better. There's this theory by Paivio, which is called the dual coding theory. And what that theory says is that visual information from your eyes, as well as verbal information, such as from your mouth and from the words that you hear, they're actually encoded in separate but interconnected pathways in our brain. Although they're separate, whenever you try and learn a new concept, such as a new word in a foreign language, let's say, and you connect both the visual pathway and the verbal pathway, then poof, magic happens. And those new words are a lot easier to remember. This dual coding theory means that when you use multiple mediums, such as pictures and words, then that can enhance your learning. Some linguists have actually recognized the power of using pictures in order to memorize new words. Pictures can clearly represent the underlying concept of a word, whereas the written text of a word is simply just made up of letters or characters. Pictures can express meaning, which is a lot more memorable, and therefore pictures can be a useful aid for vocabulary learning. From my own language learning journey, I've also used pictures to learn words and then to stop myself, or at least minimize the amount of translations that I've had to rely on. In my language learning flashcards and notes, I often just use the word in the foreign language and I directly relate that to a picture. There's no need for me to write the English translation as a barrier between the image and the written text. I can just go straight from the word chat to a picture of a cute cat in French. There's no need for me to write the English translation of cat anywhere in all of this, and that's truly a benefit of using pictures to memorize new words. It helps you to stop translating in your head, which will make it a lot smoother and faster to speak fluently in your target language. Now let me go through 4 tips for how you can use your visual power along with your verbal power in order to memorize new words. 1. Visualization. See words as pictures. Visualization involves creating an image of a word in your mind. For example, if you want to memorize the Mandarin Chinese word for pizza, which is pizza, then you can close your eyes and visualize a delicious, cheesy pizza with your favorite toppings all over it. Then associate the Chinese word pizza to that mental image. Some people in our language learning community take it even a step further, and they've been sharing their visualization tactics with me, which I found quite interesting. One strategy is to use a memory palace. Nick Cass from our language learning community is learning 9 languages, and he's been learning languages for 40 years. And he shares his experience with memory palaces. He takes visualization to the next level. With a memory palace, you place different words that you want to memorize into different rooms of an imaginary house. As you want to recall certain words, you go into the different rooms that you visualized and you retrieve them. Now, I haven't used this memory palace technique much myself, but seems to have worked for Nick. So here's your action plan if you want to use visualization to memorize words better. Choose a word you want to learn. Close your eyes and visualize a picture or a scene that represents that word. If you want to take it further, place that image and that word in a specific location in your memory palace. 2. Use pictures from the internet. You can find pictures online that represent the words that you want to learn. A nice free tool for this is simply Google image search or some other websites that have an image search function. Just type in the word that you want to learn in the foreign language, and there you'll see real life pictures, some cartoons, icons, emojis, and sometimes even GIFs. Giphy is also a nice place to find free GIFs that you can search. You can then use these images in your digital notebooks or in Notion or in your flashcards along with the word that you're learning so that you can boost your memory of that new word. Here's an action plan to do just that. Search for images that represent your target word online. Save these images and put them next to the word that you're learning. Then review them regularly. You can even create digital flashcards by using apps like Anki in order to reinforce your learning of these images with the new word. To make things a lot easier for you and to speed up the process of collecting different pictures for words in different languages, I've actually done this already. I've made sets of picture flashcards in different languages where there are the most common words that can be represented by a picture along with a relevant image within those flashcards. Of course, you can make your own picture flashcards by yourself, but this resource can save you a lot of time, and go into the description so that you can go to the link and check out these picture flashcards that I've made in different languages. 3. Take your own photos. You can add a whole lot of personalization to the pictures that you use for your new words. Take photos on your camera or phone of objects, people, or scenes that represent the new words you want to learn in a foreign language. Here's your action plan for that. When you encounter a new word, take a photo of it or something that can best represent that new word. For example, if you're at a restaurant and you see a new word in the menu, take a photo of that word within that menu context. If you see a sign and you don't understand what it means, take a photo of that and add that to your notebook or flashcards. Whenever you find new words out there in the wild or the real world, take photos of them and it'll add a whole lot of personalization to your learning, which will certainly boost your memory of these new vocabulary. Again, you can add these photos to your digital notebook or your digital flashcards to add that personal touch to your new vocabulary. 4. Drawings. Drawings and even fun little doodles can be a powerful tool to help you memorize new words. You could draw a simple sketch in your physical notebook next to the word that you're learning, or you could even use your finger and doodle little pictures on your phone. And I know that the Anki flashcard app actually has that function, and I played around with it, and that's been a lot of fun. Having drawings or doodles can be another way to include that visual element to your learning of new words. Here you can see my little doodle of a certain animal. Can you guess what it is? Yes, it is a beaver or a castor in Spanish. And I actually was learning this word as I came across it, and I was wondering, hey, what is this? And I didn't have internet access at the time, but I still had my app and I wanted to add a picture. So I thought, why don't I just draw my little castor? So here's your action plan if you want to use drawings to memorize new words. Find a new word that you want to learn. Then draw a picture that represents that word. Don't worry about your artistic skills. We're not trying to be like a Picasso here. You're just trying to have fun and try and memorize a new word in another language. And actually, a little funny doodle or drawing can actually make you laugh and give you a positive feeling, which will reinforce your memory. Hey, even stick figures can be effective. While pictures are great for learning different kinds of words in another language, it's good to know that there will be some limitations to using pictures. For example, abstract words can be difficult to represent in pictures. Some abstract words include justice or the word libertà in Italian, which means freedom. It can be challenging to draw or find a picture that truly captures what this word really means. Pictures can't also easily represent grammatical words in another language. These grammatical words are like the conjunctions and articles, and their purpose really is more of a function word within a sentence. They're words like except, or who. It can be really hard to find a picture to represent the German word bis or until in English. What picture can you use for that? So if you want to learn these abstract or grammatical words or other difficult words that are hard to show in a picture, you'll have to use some other vocabulary techniques. That's why I've got this next video that you should watch where I do talk about strategies to help you memorize vocabulary even for these tough words that can't be shown in a picture. Watch that video right now.